Hey guys, it's Kathleen with Thrifty Britches, back with another What Sold video. I am a part-time reseller and a full-time school counselor, and I have an eBay store with my sister Karen, who is a part-time reseller and a full-time kindergarten teacher. So if you are into watching reselling content, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. We list primarily on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari, and we dabble a little bit in Facebook Marketplace. And so this week's What Sold video is going to be for the week of April 11th through the 17th. So it was slightly slower than my last What Sold video. Definitely had a little bit more activity. However, it's still doing much better than it was in February and March, so I'm happy with the progress. Okay, so we're gonna start off with this first item, which is a Ravensburger Puzzle. I picked this one up at a yard sale for only $3. It was in a recent Thrift With Me video, and it sold on Mercari for $33. Okay, so Mercari is the only platform where I pay shipping, and I paid, excuse me, and I paid $9.30 in shipping for that item. Next up is eBay, and I sold this Caboodles. Thank you, Shellbell, for the heads up on that. I picked this up at an estate sale for only $3, and it sold for $24. This has been listed for a little while, but it has always garnered a lot of interest. People were liking it left and right, so I knew eventually it would sell, and it actually sold for the full asking price of $24. Next is one of two of these milk glass mugs, which are branded with the month of the year. They are by Brockway. Karen picked these up ages ago, sometime during the summer, in Goodwill for 79 cents a piece. And this one sold for full asking price of $16.99 plus shipping. We also sold month of April, and it sold for the exact same price for $16.99 plus shipping. I picked up this vintage Avon Miss Piggy bubble bath container that has this little Miss Piggy finger puppet on top. It was from the 80s, and I grabbed it at an estate sale ages ago for $1, along with a Kermit one. The Kermit one sold right away, and this one has been listed for probably about 5 months, but it finally did sell. I accepted an offer of $8. I think I only had it listed for $10, so it was fine. I was happy to see it go for $8. This J. Jill Pima tank top was new with tags. It was super, super soft in a size extra large, and we got this at the Salvation Army for $2.25, and we were able to sell it for $22. Okay, you will remember from a recent Thrift With Me video, this Le Creuset that I picked up and that I tried to love back into existence with a little bit of Barkeeper's Friend and a Dremel. I did make it look a little bit better, but it wasn't exactly saved. However, it sold. It sold for $10, and I was only $2 into it, so I was good. They paid about $25 in shipping, but I was happy to move that on out, save it from the landfill, and send it to a new home. I picked up this Cuisine cookware pot based upon suggestions that I saw in Kayla from the Homeschooling Pickers YouTube channel. So she does a lot with pots and pans, and that's not something that I ever had any experience doing. But what I learned from watching her is that if you pick up the pot and you touch it, you can tell whether it's a decent pot or not, and then you do the comps. And so that's what I did with this one. It was really solidly made. You could tell just by holding the handle. It felt like almost like Calphalon when you pick it up, and it's just solid as Sears. And it also had the lid, and the lid was clear, which I don't know, I like, so I figured buyers are gonna like it. I flipped it over, did a quick comp search, and they were selling for right around $30. And so I picked it up. I paid $5 for it at a yard sale, and it sold for $26, so that wasn't a bad flip at all. It sold pretty quickly. I've only had it listed for about a month. Next up is this Prana shirt. This is in, I don't know if it's angel sleeve. It might be dolman sleeve. I'm not so good with my sleeve distinctions. I think it's a dolman sleeve, but it is really pretty. It has some lace detail on it, but it has sat around. I listed this right after Christmas when I started listing my first couple of spring items, so sometime in January. It's in a size small. We picked it up at Goodwill for $5.99, and I accepted an offer on it of $11. These Sperry Flipflops I snagged at a yard sale. It was either a yard sale or an estate sale One of them, I snagged them for $1. So they didn't sell very high. They only sold for $12, but that's okay. They didn't take up a lot of room. They were light and easy to ship, and I was happy to move them on out and make an $11 profit. Hopefully you'll remember this item from a recent thrift haul. This is the Taiko Love and Horses. It's this, or Love and Hugs Horses, something like that. And when you move him, he clip clomps. So he came to me with a couple of stains that I used my concoction to clean him up, posted pictures, and we listed him high. I started him at 100 and he got a lot of interest. And finally I did get an offer of $65 and I let him go for $65 because I thought that was great on a $1.99 investment. I'm sorry. So we picked him up at Goodwill for, it was either $1.99 or $2.99. I can't remember off the top of my head, but either way, selling him for $65 was a great score. We were happy to do that. Next up is another lot of these ScoobyDoo books. I picked them up at a recent garage sale. I got an entire bag of books for $1 and I've already sold a bunch of them. This one was the second lot of ScoobyDoo books to sell. This was a lot of 9 books. I am not more than 25 cents into this item and probably way less than that. And the 9 of them sold for $16. I sold this Lewin Gray linen short sleeve shirt. It's really, really pretty. It has tan as the main color of the shirt, and then it has, going down the back, this little stripe of light pink. It's a really pretty piece and nice and light for the springtime. We picked that up at a yard sale for $2 and we sold that for $15. This is a new to me brand, Ann Mashburn. I had never heard of this before. We picked this shirt up at Goodwill for $5.99. It's really, really pretty. It has this big tie in the front, and I don't know if you can see from the picture, but it's actually seersucker. It's in a pretty, almost like a lemony yellow color with a white stripe going through it. Really, really nice. And when I started doing the comps, I was surprised because Ann Mashburn really sells well. That's a popular brand. It sells really, really high. It doesn't resell really, really high, but I was still happy with the return we got. For a $5.99 investment, we sold that for $32 and it sold within less than a week. Next up is this vintage Ace trucker hat. We have had this listed since the fall, probably put it up there in October, maybe September even. We picked this up at a yard sale for $1 and it finally sold, but it sold for full asking price of $17.99. So we've picked up a series of trucker hats and over time a lot of them have sold. And so you know it's a trucker hat if it has the mesh back. That's my understanding of it anyway. We pick them up when we see them, especially if they have a little something distinctive about them, something different, something that just makes them stand out. We have one more of the lot of 4, it was either 4 or 5 that we picked up. I think it was 5, and we have one more remaining. Okay, next up are these Dansko crisscross black leather sandals. I was a little disappointed in these. They never really did get a whole lot of attention. Here and there I would get a like or two. I would send out offers and nobody was buying. So I finally accepted an offer of $14. For me, Dansko usually has a much better sell-through rate and a much higher rate of return. There was nothing wrong with these sandals other than you could see the toe imprint, but that's fairly common with Danskos, so I wouldn't think that would stop somebody from buying them. I've certainly sold Danskos before that have that. And not have a problem selling them. And I picked up another pair of Dansko sandals at that huge twins consignment sale that I went to, and I did a thrift with me from there, and they were kind of like a blue-gray strappy type of sandal, not terribly different from this except in color, and they are still sitting around not really getting much interest, so I might just stick to mules when I'm picking up Dansko. Go for the clogs and the mules and stick with what you know sells. So anyway, we picked these up in Goodwill for $5.99 and we sold them for $14. So just okay. I mean, it still was sold for a profit, but Dansko, I just have higher expectations for. Okay, we are gonna move on to just 3 Poshmark sales that I had in the week of April 11th through the 17th. The first was this B. Makowski bag. This has sat around for probably between 2 and 3 months. I think I listed it right after Christmas holidays, but it has always gotten a lot of interest. I've sent out offers, and finally somebody took me up on my offer. So we picked this up at a yard sale for $3 and it sold for $30. Next is this Vineyard Vines modal cotton tank. It was really, really pretty with navy blue and white stripes, and the top of the tank were tie sleeves. So they had these big, huge bows. Not really my thing, but it was getting a lot of attention almost immediately. It was in a size large, which is always a good size for me to sell in Vineyard Vines. And it sold within less than a week of having been listed. We paid $5.99 for it at Goodwill, and it sold for $14. So Vineyard Vines is not really bringing home the bacon lately. If I find something that's super, super cheap at a yard sale, I will definitely scoop it up for $1 or $2 and list it. But I'm not going to be picking it up at Goodwill anymore, because to pay $6 or $7 and then just to turn it around for between $12 and $18, which is usually what most of my stuff from Vineyard Vines is selling for, that's not worth it to me, unless you can get it super, super cheap at a yard sale. And the last item is also a home run for me. I picked these G.H. Bass Weegens shoes up last weekend in my Thrift With Me video. They were brand new in the box. It was at the very last yard sale that I went to, and I didn't know much about them. They were brand spanking new in the box, perfect condition, and they were marked at either $2 or $3. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think it might have been $3. And I sold them within 15 minutes of having listed them for full asking price of $55. And I was aiming really high. I noticed when I was doing the comps that the men's version of these were selling really, really high, even pre-owned. Women's, it was kind of all over the place. So I just aimed high, figuring I could just lower it when I need to, and I never had to because they sold so quickly. So I was super stoked about that. Okay, so in total, that is 19 items that sold in the week of April 11th through the 17th. The cost of goods was $55.04 for an average cost of goods of $2.90, which is pretty low for us. We're usually right around between $3 and $4. In total, we sold $438.97 worth of merchandise exclusive of shipping. And when you back out 20% fees of $87.79, that leaves us with a net profit of $296.14. So we're really happy with that. I would like it to be between the $300 and $400 mark. That is always our goal, but I am still happy with those results. Okay guys, that is the end of this What Sold video. If this is something that you like and you want to see more of, please go ahead and hit the like and subscribe buttons down below. Also click the bell for notifications, and we will send you an email every time that we upload a video. And remember, it's not cheap, it's thrifty. Bye guys.